the top best reconnaissance aircraft. The Lockheed SR-71 is a US Air Force strategic supersonic reconnaissance aircraft, unofficially named Blackbird. The features of this aircraft were high speed and flight altitude, due to which the main maneuver for evading missiles was acceleration and climb. The aircraft was operated from 1964 to 1998. Of the 32 aircraft built, 12 were lost in accidents, but there were no combat losses. The aircraft was manufactured using early stealth technology. He was also able to take off to a height of almost 26 kilometers. The uniqueness of this aircraft was that it could fly at speeds exceeding the speed of sound by more than 3 times. But in such flight modes, the body heated up to 400 degrees Celsius, which was a big problem for the designers. To solve it, a significant part of the airframe was made of titanium alloys. Lockheed U-2. The Lockheed U-2 is a high-altitude reconnaissance aircraft. He made his first flight on August 1, 1955. In total, about 86 copies were built. At one time, this machine brought a lot of trouble to the air defense of the USSR. Designed to operate at altitudes above 20 kilometers, where detection and interception were unlikely, the U-2 aircraft was equipped with a large number of data collection devices. Reconnaissance flights over the countries of Eastern Europe began on June 20th, and the first flight over the USSR was carried out on July 4, 1956. The fact that the U-2 reconnaissance aircraft can be detected and hit was demonstrated on May 1, 1960, when during the next flight over the Soviet Union, this aircraft was shot down by a surface-to-air missile. This was the last U-2 flight over the USSR. In total, 24 reconnaissance flights of U-2 aircraft were carried out over the territory of the USSR from 1956 to the 1960s, which made it possible to identify a large number of military and industrial facilities. The true location of the Soviet Missile Range No. 5, the current Baikonur Cosmodrome, became known to American intelligence on the 5th of August 1957 as a result of another U-2 flight over the territory of the USSR. RAF RC-135W Rivet Joint Aircraft. The US Air Force has received 17 RC-135VW rivet joint aircraft since the early 1970s, which are still in service and are constantly being upgraded. Thus, over the course of 5 financial years, from 2011 to 2015, it was planned to allocate a total of $649.9 million for the operation and modernization of the fleet of these aircrafts to the US Air Force. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you found our video entertaining, please subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you MQ-9 Reaper. The MQ-9 Reaper is a reconnaissance and strike UAV that made its first flight on February 2, 2001. It was based on the MQ-1 Predator. The MQ-9 is powered by a turboprop engine capable of reaching speeds of over 400 kilometers per hour. The practical ceiling is 13,000 meters. The maximum flight duration of the MQ-9 is 24 hours. In other words, the Reaper has absorbed all of the best features of previous models. The first MQ-9 was delivered to the US Air Force in March 2007, and already in October, vehicles of this type were performing combat missions in Afghanistan. So in November 2007, the Pentagon announced the destruction of the Taliban group by guided bombs dropped from the Reaper. By March 2009, the US Air Force had 195 Predators and 85 Reapers. Attack UAVs have shown high efficiency in Afghanistan and Iraq. The main advantages over conventional aircraft are lower purchase and operation costs, longer flight duration, operator safety, and the possibility of shift work during long flights. Grumman OV-1 Mohawk. At the end of 1954, the US Army turned to the leading aviation concerns with a request for proposals about the creation of a new instrumental reconnaissance aircraft. Quite unexpectedly, the winner of the competition was the G-134 project of the Grumman Company, which specialized in carrier-based aircraft and had never previously dealt with Army reconnaissance. The Grumman OV-1 Mohawk is a turboprop reconnaissance and strike aircraft that first flew on April 14, 1959. Over the history of its use, a total of 380 cars were built. It was in service with the US Army until the 1990s. The aircraft received its first combat experience during the Vietnam War. Despite its not too outstanding characteristics, OV-1 successfully opened enemy targets. At first, the plane was considered secret and terrified its enemies, since bombers always flew after it and destroyed the targets they found. RQ-4 Global Hawk. The RQ-4 is a strategic reconnaissance UAV that can patrol for 30 hours at an altitude of up to 18 kilometers. This drone was intended to replace the U-2 high-altitude reconnaissance aircraft, as it could perform similar tasks without the presence of a pilot in the cockpit. The Global Hawk first flew on February 28, 1998 from Edwards Air Force Base. In the first flight, an altitude of 9,750 meters was reached at a speed of 280 kilometers per hour. The UAV is used as a platform for various reconnaissance equipment. 3 subsystems of reconnaissance equipment are installed on the Global Hawk. They operate at different wavelengths and can work simultaneously. Its radar is designed to work in all weather conditions. In normal mode, it provides a radar image of the terrain with a resolution of 1 meter. An image from an area of 138,000 square meters can be obtained per day at a distance of 200 kilometers. In 2x2 kilometer spot mode, more than 1,900 images with a resolution of 0.3 meters can be acquired in 24 hours. MQ-1 Predator. Based on their rich experience in building and operating reconnaissance aircraft, the American command decided to continue to use unmanned aircraft for these purposes. The production of the aircraft was the MQ-1 Predator, or just the Predator, capable of climbing to a height of 8 kilometers. In addition to the lack of a pilot in the cockpit, the Predator could carry 2 guided anti-tank missiles on board. This significantly expanded the boundaries of the use of an unmanned aerial vehicle, or UAV, since it could immediately find targets and destroy them. On the 3rd of March 2011, the US Air Force received the last of the ordered MQ-1 Predators. Predators will no longer enter service. As of 2011, 360 UAVs, 285 RQ-1s and 75 MQ-1s have been built. The cost of each such device is $4.03 million. Joint Stars. It consists of an airborne platform, an E-8C aircraft with a multi-mode radar system, and US Army Mobile Ground Station GSM modules. An E-8C modified by a Boeing 707 carries a phased array radar antenna in a 26-foot canoe-shaped radome under the forward fuselage. The radar is capable of providing guidance and combat control data to all Joint Stars operators, both in aircraft and in ground station modules. These operators in turn can call in aircraft, missiles or artillery for fire support. With a claimed range of over 155 miles, this radar can cover approximately 386,100 square miles in a single 8-hour sortie. Key advanced technological elements of the program include a program-intensive radar with multiple modes of operation, unique antenna with 3 receiving ports, 4 high-speed processors capable of performing more than 600 million operations per second, and related software.